Hi, today I'm excited to share with you my October daily for 2020. I actually finished it and I'm so excited because I usually don't finish my projects that I ever start. And this one I actually did 31 days worth of projects. So first I wanted to share with you this traveler's notebook that I bought from Pumpkin Paper Co. She has an Etsy shop and an Instagram, and this was a limited edition traveler's notebook, and my friends Liz and Josie were talking about it, and I couldn't resist because, you know, FOMO. If I wouldn't have got it, I probably would have regretted it. So it came with this really cute dust cover, and it was pretty big. I mean, this is huge. I did not know what to expect when I got it. And then I made this charm. I actually got these charms. I think it all came in one kit from Joann's. And then I just made a little chain and made that little charm for the side. Then I made these little notebooks. I made, I think, 6 or 7 of them. Let's see, 7 of them. But there's enough room for 8. There's 8 rubber bands. But some of these got really chunky. So, as you can see, there's not really a binding. So I made this dashboard just with the 12 by 12 page protector. So it's 12 inches wide, and I think this first page is about 5.5 inches, and then I fused it. You can't really see it. I would have to take it out. And then I put a piece of cardstock in there to give it a little more stability. I don't know. This is my first traveler's notebook, so I don't know if that's a thing or not. Anyway, so then I just used some pattern paper and put that here. And then I just had this napkin, so I put that and a picture that I had printed but didn't use. And then the back page is another, I just threw a piece of pattern paper in there. So let's begin. I had made most of these, and there's another video showing showing that I made these little tea and inserts. And I had made 6 of them, thinking there was only 6 rubber bands, and there ended up being 8, but I made another one. So I will show you what I did with them. And there's 31 projects, and I'm gonna be honest, some of these projects I did in the same day, but only showed them one a day. So in my Instagram, there's a picture for every day in October, but that doesn't mean I made them that day. Especially, I did a lot on Sundays while my husband was watching football, so my project was never going to be about what I did in the month of October. My kids are grown. We don't do much. So I just wanted to use this project to use a lot of my Halloween stash and come up with some fun ideas. So this first insert is about witches, and that's why I thought this went along well. And all of these pictures are on my Instagram page. This one is just made of vellum, and that's the Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz. And then I just printed out a bunch of memes that had to do with the witches. This talks about American Horror Story Coven, which was about witches. And then this right here is another vellum piece. I love the way it printed. I love the black and white on vellum. And I like that she was standing on books. So then I talked about 3 witch books. One I never finished, one that I bought but have not started reading, and then the Harry Potter books, which they're witches, right? Wizards, witches, same thing. And then this one, I just loved all these striped leggings, so I just did a whole, I didn't even do any journaling. I just used the writing on the pictures and decorated the page. Again, I just used the little sayings on the pictures, and then I used my stamp. It says, "You say witch like it's a bad thing," and this little sticker says "Mwahaha," and this sticker says "The witch is in." So I just decorated them, and that was the last of my witch book. And I still have more pages that I can use next year if I feel like doing that. And then this next book is about Halloween parties, craft parties that my friends and I have put together in the past. Of course, we can't do one this year with shelter in place. So I just found this little ephemera that was in my stash, and I thought that was cute, and I just layered it on a bunch of pieces of paper so it kind of popped. And then here I just talk about how Liz, Josie, and I love to have craft parties, and Halloween is one of our favorites to do. This sticker came from Pumpkin Paper Co. So when you pre-ordered this TN, she threw in this sticker that's has like metallic in the back. So I just put that there, and that's the three of us, me, Josie, and Liz. And then this is a 2-page layout about a party we had thrown in 2016, and we had a few other friends join us. This was the very first time I did a background, and I actually made all these, what are they? Medallions by hand. So I went and used my scoreboard, and I don't think I would ever do that again. I would just buy them. And then this talks about who was at the party, and we all had witch hats on here, and then we were holding all these little signs. So that was fun. And then in 2017, our theme was the Haunted Mansion, and this paper is from Tim Holtz, and it's kind of furry, fuzzy. And I kind of cut it too large, and it actually created my TN or the insert to start coming apart. So, but luckily the rubber band keeps everything in place. So I really thought this background, this brocade background, went with the theme. And Josie loves to make us fun drinks, so that was fun. And then this is still the Haunted Mansion, and I just did these little cute strips and a lot of our outtakes, because we always pose and we always have a bunch of funny outtakes. Then this one was our 2019 party. It was the Addams Family, and I had a bunch of this old Addams Family paper from Rusty Pickle. So I used this, I think this was Uncle Fester. This paper was called Grandmama. This was Gomez, and this background was called Morticia. And then here we are, we're dressed as Mortician, dressed all in black, and then I bought these chocolate candy cigars, so it was fun to pose with that. Then I went way back, and Liz had hosted a party back in 2014, and it was a pre-holiday party to start on our crafts, and we had some champagne with orange juice or mimosas. And then again in 2014, Josie hosted us, and we painted pumpkins, and we had some more mimosas. And I thought that was fun to go back and journal on those, because I wouldn't have had enough to create a huge scrapbook or mini album. And then that one's done. And then see, this one actually came apart. And it's because I was doing my papers too large, and I don't know. So that's that one. And then this one I wanted to document a bunch of holiday, Halloween type alcohol beverages, but I didn't have too many, and we didn't go anywhere this year that had any, so this is all past. So I just did a little intro page. Didn't write anything, just I love this little old school witch, so I wanted to use her. And then this one, in 2017, we had gone to this Willow Street pizza place, and they actually had 3 types of fall cocktails. But I just tried the Skinny Witch. So that was fun to document. And I just found a witch and used some washi tape that says Cheers Witches. And then this one really wasn't Halloween, but in 2016, the Giants were in the playoffs, and we had seen this drink online. So we bought some black vodka and used orange Fanta, and we made these really cool orange and black drinks that, you know, could be for the Giants or for just Halloween. And then that was it for my drink TN. Maybe I'll fill that up next year. And then this one right here, I wasn't sure. This was actually mid-month. I'm like, what else can I do? And I thought I would document scary movies that I like. And none of this really is in too much order. Like, I did do my parties in order, and then I went back later and did these last 2. And then my drinks I did like within the last week. So this is not in any sort of order of the way it happened, the way I craft. So this is just the intro page, and it talks about how I used to really enjoy watching scary movies, and then something happened. I don't know if I got older or if society changed or if the movie makers started making the genre too real life, and I no longer enjoyed watching the newer scary movies. Like, I think the last one I kind of liked was Saw, but like The Purge, I just don't like that stuff. So this one right here, I talk about the first scary movie I remember enjoying was when I was 13, and it was Freddy Krueger. And so I just found the poem they say in the thing, and I put that on vellum. And then under here is the first movie, and then the third movie that I talk about here. And then I had this paper forever, and it's orange instead of red, but it kind of looked like his sweater, so I used that. And then then my next one is, I had forgotten that I remember in elementary school watching Poltergeist. So I had went from saying the first one was when I was 13 to realizing it was 9 when I first liked scary movies. And so I've had this really old paper. I think it was a Michael's paper pack from forever ago, and I liked it. It was bluish. I was looking for something blue to go with the blue TV, and this was perfect because it had the spooky tree and stuff, so it kind of went perfect with that. Then I talk about how I did not watch the movie Halloween until 30 years later. So I think it was in 2008 when I finally watched the original movie. And I think it was a little far-fetched. And then, of course, you know, the movies from the 70s and 80s, the effects are kind of cheesy, so it didn't really scare me as much as the newer stuff. And then this one is about Scream. So I had found this paper. So this is one side, and then this is the other side. I think it's from Reminisce, and it's called, I think, Scream. But I found it at the scrapbook store, and I'm like, this is perfect, because I was looking in my stash for some from skull or, you know, ghosts like this, and everything I had was too cutesy. So this was perfect. And the same thing with the pumpkins. Everything I kept seeing was too cutesy that I had already. So this was perfect for what I wanted it to do. And then this one right here, I went sideways. I went outside the box. And I talk about Dexter and how I really enjoyed the series. And then I was trying to think, what can I put in, you know, as the background? And then I remembered I had this paper. So it says, sit back and relax. And then I'm like, I know I have a spat. First I was going to do a Heidi Swap color shine, but it was the wrong color red. And then I found this, I think it's actually a paint splatter from Amy Tangerine, but I used it as like blood spatter. So I thought that was pretty cool. I wish I would have done the blood spatter on the vellum, because you really can't see it through here. Or I should have used thinner vellum. I don't know. But I thought that was the perfect paper, because Dexter is in Florida with lots of palm trees. So that was that. And that's the last of my horror movie TV shows. This one right here, I had planned on stamping a bunch of my stamps. I didn't really get to that. But this one I did do. It's just I went through all my stamp sets and found anything that said Happy Halloween or just Halloween, and I stamped it. So if I ever want to see, oh, what Halloween do I want, and then I have to go, I should have wrote which set it was from, but I thought that was just a fun page. That was like in the middle of the month, and I started getting like, oh, what else am I going to do? So these next two, these were actually really fun. So I wanted to, when I put together these TN inserts, I knew I wanted to paint. So this insert is made from watercolor. And then this other insert is made from acrylic canvas paper. So this one I just use an acetate, and then I put some color on the front. I didn't really care for that after I did it, but whatever. And then on the back, I went ahead and did the same thing, but with different colors. And I really love these colors together. So again, this was something I did on a Sunday. And the first time I did 2 pages, and then because you have to let it dry, it was a couple weeks before I did these next 2 pages. So this one just had, I love this Happy Halloween. I wish I wouldn't have put the blue, because it looks a little too 4th of July-ish. But then I just added some washi tape and called it a day. This one, I love this pumpkin stamp. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do on the back. Actually, so let me back up. So I actually had stamped something on here, but the stamp was all messed up. So then I took a piece of paper and stamped this, and then it covered the other stamp. And then I tried to mimic these colors, but I really should have not done the brown. I don't know. I didn't really care for it, or I did too much black. I don't know, but I still love this part. And then this one, the tree is painted on, and I wanted these colors in the background. And then this is a silhouette cut file that I had printed earlier in the month, and I'm like, you know what, let me just put it on here so it's not just sitting in my stash. And then this one, I really wanted to do these colors together, and then I try to do these bats, and the bats look kind of funky, but oh well. I'm still learning how to paint, and I don't know which, and I used the same brush. I used one of those, you know, the watercolor brushes where the water's in the pen and then you squeeze it. So I didn't have a really thin brush, but I should have used a thinner brush. And that's it for my watercolor one. And then on my acrylic, I actually did these two first. They were sticking together, so I had to put a piece of paper between them. This one, again, I'm really heavy-handed, so this is acrylic paint. And I did use an actual smaller brush, but like I said, I'm very heavy-handed. And so it came out kind of funky, but I really like the gray background. And then this one, I should have let it dry, so because when you put the darker color on the back, you need kind of white on top of that. And again, I think I just used the wrong brush because it doesn't look very professional, but I'm not a professional, so. But I really like this. I really loved how the sunflower came out. And then I did these two. And I just found all four of these on Pinterest, and I just kind of copied them. This one was fun to make, but I could have put some more texture, some more white to show like this is grass. And again, it's really hard. And when I used the smaller brush, it was hard to, I'm just not used to doing it. So, but I did like how these trees came out. And then again, I think the original is a huge one, so you would have cut out these windows and stuff and not painted them black, but because I did a smaller version of it, it was a little harder, so I tried to put white and then kind of but it was fun to do, and it was really relaxing. I enjoy painting. I don't do it very often because it's a lot of work to get everything out and then clean up and stuff. So that is my 31 days of October Daily that I created just to be crafty for the month. It's not a traditional, oh, this is what I did for 30 days with my kids. But I had a really fun time just creating and using my Halloween supplies. So thank you for watching, and I hope I could inspire you to do something outside of the box instead of a traditional October Daily. Thank you.